Well, hello guys. Today we're going to be talking to Ganksy from the No Mercy squad. They are the wildcard qualifiers going to PMCO. This is their second PMCO, and Ganksy is the caller. He is the in-game leader, which is pretty specialised for this particular squad. They all have their roles. You're going to hear about that as you go on. I'm going to show you some of their footage from their tournament scrimmages in the video rather than watching me and Ganksy as he tries to carry my potato buttocks around the map. And basically, it's going to be like red hot content all the way through. Lots of things you won't hear anywhere else from the inside of the pro scene. Hi-ho, silver away. Let's go. So, boys and girls, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too, welcome back to Channel. And today I'm joined by none other than the immoral Ganksy from No Mercies. Immortal, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. How you feeling, mate?
I'm feeling good.
So what region are you for PMCO?
We're wildcards. So wildcards basically everything that's not defined by another region that's kind of in the southern part of the hemisphere.
So what's your role within the No Mercy tilt? Do you control the meta? Is that where it's at? What do you do?
I'm the IGL for our team. I'm the in-game leader, so I get away with being a bit of a potato. I've got an excuse.
But tactically up here, mate.
I'm usually the back line. Yeah.
Any strange metas at the moment, mate?
There's a bit of a double barrel meta going on. Like, I've noticed it in the Aussie community. They're all like, they just love rocking double barrels all game long. Like, they'll carry it as their close up because it's just like the ultimate face to face. It's going to win a trade.
So I heard a little rumor that you guys used to play on the Indian PUBG mobile server for the competition.
We used to do that for quite a while because what you'll find is, you know, on the India server, like, because the game's so popular over there, if you're ace and you play squads, it's like playing in a tournament. Like, every single squad there will be a 4-man team on comms, in a clan or an actual team, and they sweat it out. Like, they go hard. It's good practice.
You had to use one word to. I'm just going to throw some word association at you here, right?
Okay.
So, I want you to use it in terms of your squad. Sweatiest.
So I'd say SIBO.
Angry.
Me. Mate, instant. No hesitation.
So. Talk to me. How did you organise and end up playing in PMCO? Talk to me about that.
So I was in a different team. I wasn't in No Mercy at the start of the year, and I'd been talking to this guy Punisher for a while. I was trying to recruit him to join my team. I used to play in a lot of North American tournaments. PMCO is announced, and then we're both like, let's make a team. I joined No Mercy, and we qualified. We qualified for the spring split. We found out we were going to get paid to play in it, and I was like, wow, like I'm Bushka, I'm 32, right? And I've been playing video games for a long time, and I'm like, man, I'm getting paid to play games.
Yeah, this is the dream. This is street cred, immediate cool. Street cred.
And yeah, we practiced a lot, and we played in the first PMCO, and it was brutal, but we had an amazing time. We had a goal, like we didn't think we could win, but we're like, we want to go to the next one. So we wanted to qualify, and man, like, everything worked against us. Like, we had some terrible games. We had glitches and that, and we came 16th in the semi-finals. I think we qualified by 1 point to get into the regional finals. So, but we got straight into the group stage, and we're lucky because, you know, we've already been through PMCO. Like, PMCO is different from like regular. It's very different from classic match. They crank the zones up and they crank the loot up because it's more entertaining. It's a little less entertaining if you're playing, but it's certainly especially on
So what the zones? How fast are the zones? Go?
They don't move any faster, but like on Sandhawk, for instance, like, the zone will close and you've got 30 seconds to get into the next zone. And if you have to stop and fight a squad, well, you're both going to end up fighting in the blue. Like, you'll see a squad running and they'll see you. Sometimes you just be like, they're not that close. Let's just kind of run in the other direction. or you'll just run straight into a squad. So you basically, I mean, our game plan for Sanok is just hit the ground and run. Like, we just go straight to zone. Like, we don't.
Yeah, I talked to Goose from Simplicity, and he was saying that about the pro scene, how you just have to rotate early and often.
You've got to just rotate instantly. On the other maps, you've got vehicles, but it's very similar. Like, you've always got to be mobile and keep moving. And they crank the loot up, which is good, because you don't have to worry about looking for guns. So it's a slightly different meta to what people are used to, and we'd experienced that before. So that's why I think we've done a little bit better this time around, because we've been able to sit down and like use that experience and what we've learned and apply it.
So can we talk about the Ganksy PMCO tactics, or is that folder shut?
You can ask me about tactics. I mean, I'm not going to give you the the secret squirrel stuff, but I could give you another.
Have you got secrets?
Oh yeah, man.
Are there secret squirrel stuff?
I got stuff we haven't even used yet. Like, yeah, everybody does. I mean, look at Nova Esports, for example. So I think they came 5th in World Championships. There was one game in the semi-finals where we got a taste of how they're going to play in regionals. Like, they haven't even like, they're just showing up.
And they'll hold back for what reason?
Because in the group stage, you only need to be in the top 24, and then in the semi-finals, you only need to be in the top 16. So it doesn't matter whether you're 1st or 16th, you're all going to regional finals.
Like, you want to be basically the guys that are no one's game plan.
Yeah. You don't want people. I mean, everyone's going to study what you do, and people are going to figure out, like, people are going to know where you land, where you go, what your favorite spots are, and they're going to use that against you. And we would do that. So, like, everybody does it. Like, I saw in the group stage, one team was trash looting, which is a tactic. If you watch global finals, you'll see XQF use that tactic quite often. They were the number 2 team, so they would trash loot around farm. So this team was like, XQF did that, let's copy them. So they would drop near farm, split up, get vehicles, trash loot all the buildings. Another team, 2-3 games in, another team had already figured that out, and they'd push one guy and take them out one by one.
Oh, wow. Really? So they're just like hunting these dudes down?
Yeah. That quickly, like within a couple of games, because they're watching it on YouTube after the games, and they're adapting that quickly. So you kind of want to play your cards close to your chest.
Do you take a lot of your inspiration from watching these tournaments?
Yeah, I watch tournaments I always have, but I watch tournaments every day. I look for things that teams do. And I also look for places that they go that are quite interesting. Like, I'll see if a zone goes somewhere, which team in that zone had an advantage, like why did they go there, kind of thing, what worked for them.
Do you think the best teams in the game are better at the gunfights or better at positioning?
Positioning. I mean, they changed the point system this time around, and we looked at it and we said, all right, well, kills obviously mean more important than they were previously, and then we've played it and we're like, well, it still doesn't make as big a difference as you'd think. You get 1 point for a kill, which is what you got before, but for a chicken dinner you only get 20, whereas you got 30 before, and they drop off. Like, once you get to 10th place, you only get 1 point.
So do you guys win many games, or do you play strong in terms of points and just keep in touch?
We got 3 chicken dinners in the semi-finals. I mean, you can play 2 games, really. You can play placement points or you can play kill points. I think if you look at global finals last time, top esports, they won the placement point game, XQF won the kill game. So it'd be interesting to have a look at that and see, would XQF have just won it based on their kill points with this new scoring system?
Yeah. Do you? Is there anyone out there that you think is particularly freakish in terms of just like pure skill level? Like, who's the?
Yeah, I mean, all XQF, Paraboy, all those guys.
XQF Paraboy, is he the guy that uses the M16?
Yes, and the DP28. He loves it. But he's a fun player. Like, his whole shtick is his gyro. Like, the level of control he has over his gyro, like, I can't do that.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I think it just demeans people who are really good at it by saying like anyone can do it, and that's like it's just rubbish.
Yeah, I've seen guys who can, shoot a mini like it's an M4, or I've seen guys who can shoot a SKS like that.
What would you say are the strengths of your team, man?
Pani shoots the clutch. He's the king of the clutch. This guy, like you put him in a wild 1v4 situation, and he can come out on top. Sibo is easily one of the best snipers in the world, like hands down. Like normally you wouldn't think it's a good idea to use a bolt action in PMCO. He knocked somebody from Nova out of a moving UAZ with a Car 98 in a PMCO and firsted him in the next shot in PMCO. Like, so whenever we find a bolt action, he gets it. And Haydos, he's good with the DMRs, like the mini. I just pick zones. I just put markers on the map and then zone goes there.
That's your whole job. You're really selling the video. But I mean, in all seriousness, like everyone's got to have a role. When I was playing with Goose from Simplicity, he was saying that when he plays, like he never takes classic games seriously. He only uses it to learn things and to improve certain parts of his game. Like if he lands and clears boot camp, he'll just eat a grenade and start again. Like
there's our boys all do that. Like, but they'll do that. And we'll do that as a squad. We'll just hot drop and then we'll just exit the game. The thing I dislike, that looking for that last guy that's just prone. He's just prone, and you're just looking for him, and you're just like, you know what, win. Like that's how we just let him win. We just exit. give him the chicken dinner. Like give him, man. He wants it more than you do.
Yeah. Like, do we really care?
There's only so many people you can pan and cook nades and run over. It's just like, it's kind of like, what am I trying to prove here?
Yeah. No, I find urban areas in TPP very challenging. Hanging out next to a corner, whole squads in separate buildings.
It's unforgiving.
Yeah. Would you go somewhere like San Martin as a squad?
Yep. We'd land here. So we always land in big cities.
Yeah. Because
big cities have lots of loot and lots of cover and vehicles. Another player I really like and a team I watch quite a lot of is Team Unique. They're from Russia. If you ever see, there's a guy, Old Boy.
I've heard
they're a fantastic team to watch. They are super aggressive.
Do you guys try and adapt your style to the competition, or do you just adapt to the maps?
Oh yeah. I think the worst thing you can do as a team is have a particular way of doing things. Like, we always drop here, like there's some teams you'll find they'll always land in a place. And if the zone, or the flight path is far from that place, they'll get vehicles and they'll rotate there.
They'll rotate to the place rather than...
Yeah. Whereas we'll just go wherever my theory is I'll just do what the game tells me to. Play the cards I'm dealt.
Yeah, exactly. I've always liked that as a gameplay style. Like, have a best practice.
Have tactics, have ways of doing things, but just adapt to it. So if the flight path, like if you want to go Yasnara and the flight path's on the other side of the map, well, maybe you can go South George or Primorsk, and if you go to a big enough city and there's another team there, I mean, our game style is we'll land in a big city, loot it up, and then generally I don't like holding compounds. Depends on the map. If we think holding compounds is a good idea, we'll do it. But otherwise we just rotate to zone. Vikendi you kind of have to. Like Vikendi, there's so many compounds. Yeah, there's so many compounds. Like you just have to go to compounds.
What's your I asked Goose this. I'll ask you, what's your kind of ideal loadout? Like what do you want? What are you looking for?
Me, what I've got right now, M4 and AK.
So you run double AR?
Yep. And I'll long range spray with the M4, or I'll tap fire it as a DMR, and then I'll use the AK for anything that gets a bit too close. And
I like running barrel all the time. Like I'm struggling.
Barrel's my favourite. Barrel's my favourite.
Struggling not to just
barrel and an angle.
Yeah, well, I've got
I
the
watch your
angle to the
videos, man.
compensator.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
go.
understand why more people don't
a big
pick
one.
up on that. That thing is broken with an angle grip. I don't
Man,
understand.
I preach it, man. I preach it. I preach the gospel of the barrel with the angle and the comp.
It's
It is
never made any sense to me why.
the range on it. Like
Yeah.
you can knock targets that other people would be using. Like and that's the difference. When you're starting to use a barrel angle comp with a red dot at a range, other people would be using an M4 for 3x. Then you're going to start dropping people.
Is it an interesting situation for you? Because that would actually explain, like, just being an IGL in-game leader would be so much more important when the zone is moving quickly.
Yeah. So basically, they're fighting. I'm fighting too, but I'm also focusing on where are we going to go next. Yeah. Like the way when I look at a zone, I'm not just looking at where the zone is and who's in it and where they are and where we could go. I'm thinking about the next zone as well.
I love that part of the game, dude. I mean, that is the part of the game that really
it's like playing
me.
chess. And if you're doing that, you can't really focus as much on fighting and stuff.
No. Well, you can when you're playing against Muppets like me. You can't when you're playing at PMCO. No.
Your videos certainly help. Like stuff like the backside of the zone, being on that short side of the zone. Yeah, that works in tournaments. Like
I've always wondered about that. Like
surfing in on the blue. Yeah. Surfing in on the blue. I've used that exact line let's surf the blue in. Like, let's go in the back. And if you're in the back, you don't have to worry about anyone behind you. And if you don't have to worry about anyone behind you, you've got a lot less problems than everyone else.
Yeah, you can own, as long as you own one space. Like, you've gone to Conqueror, right?
Yep.
It's a hell of a grind.
That was a waste of time. I mean, It was interesting, but taught me how to camp. I mean, I wasn't, solo squatting my way there.
So how do you see it shaping up? Where are you placed at the moment?
We're in 7th.
Yeah.
Out of 16 teams, which I'm happy with. Like, I mean, we were in 1st after day 1, and we're in 3rd place after a couple. Like, yeah, we were ranked pretty high for a while, which is not really where I want to be. Like in semi-finals, I don't want teams paying that much attention to us. But yeah,
because it gives you no advantage, does it? Really, to qualify? Like, it all starts again once you get there.
It certainly starts working against you. Like, it's good for clout. You can put it on Instagram.
Last question. Let me know. Give me the inside scoop. How do you think you're going to go in PMCO?
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. Like, we've actually got a shot. The way we've been playing and performing, we could win it.
Mate, that was brilliant. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you, man.
That was a great giggle.
Awesome.
That was a great giggle. Yeah. We should play some more. There's content gold to be had, my friend.
Yeah, man. Like I said, let's next time we'll get the boys in there, and then you and me, we can back, we can drink tea, we can talk. Like, they're just going to be like driving us around, just massacring the map.
That's all we've got time for, folks. Thank you so much for listening to that one. There will be a part 2 to that. I dropped Millbase with Ganksy, and unfortunately he had no sound, and he couldn't hear that there was someone right next to him shooting at him. So yeah, he got wiped on the landing, but I went on and had a really good game. So I'm gonna upload that as a separate video, part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're liking the series where we talk to the pro players, the PMCO callers and such, and get some inside info. Look after yourselves, and as always, stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.